Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I have another layout using April Scraptastic kits. This is the 9th layout using this kit. It took me 46 minutes to complete. I'm showing you some of the products that I pulled from the kit, and this photo is back from 2004. I'm showing you up close who made the papers, and it's all scraps. I'm down to my scraps and I'm going to do the whole layout on a white background. I'm running out of pattern paper. So I don't have too many full sheets. So the next few layouts, well, I guess the next one is going to be on a full pattern paper, mainly because I didn't like that pattern paper and I end up covering it. But anyway, you'll see that in the next layout. So I mounted the photo on the pink pattern paper that came in the kit, and now I'm just cutting pieces of pattern paper, wee-nilly, all different sizes, just with my scissors, not even using my trimmer. And basically I have all the pattern papers that are leftovers that have pink on it. It's here, and I'm trying to fill up that space because this is a white cardstock, so there's a lot of white space, and white space is not my friend, I don't think. I seem to not leave too much white space. It seems that I like to fill it up. So I have quite a few different pattern papers, and I make sure that a little bit sneaks out here and there. And that pattern paper with the flowers, oh my goodness, I love that pattern paper. And I've cut out the flowers quite a bit and used it as a base to start building my elements. Although this time I still had one of those doilies that I had colored a few layouts back with the Prima ink. I still had it, and I hadn't used it yet, and I wanted to make sure to use it because, like I said, there was on the last layout, I think there is a lot of pink pattern papers in this kit, so that doily fit in perfectly. Now I'm looking to see if there's any of those butterflies that I want to use on this layout, but I decided against it. I'm going to use that acetate with the little polar, sort of like film looking edges to it. I'm going to cut it in a few sections, and I'm going to use it on this layout. I want to use that camera that came from a Prima die cut pack. And again, I just pulled everything that was pink and that I could put on this layout. I have a few of those little craft bows left, so I'm going to use 3 on this layout. And this is a picture of my daughter in 2004. We had gone camping in Prince Edward Island, and that kid, when she was, I thought about that the other day. When she was younger, she always had a hat on, always. And I've noticed as she's gotten older, she hasn't kept that trend, and it's too bad because she was super cute with hat on. She would wear, like, it'd be in the middle of the summer and the kid would have a toque on, of different colors or whatever. And it just suited her really, like, a lot. And so at this point I have all the pattern papers that I want, and instead of outlining them, I'm going to use the pale tomato ink and my little tool from Tim Holtz, and I'm just going to ink all the edges. And what I'm going to do is, because this is such a complicated, not complicated, but just a lot of layers, I'm just inking one and then gluing it down to the one underneath, and then lifting it and then inking that so that I don't lose the placement of the pattern papers. And I know like it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I find once I get a certain layout a certain way, if I move it around and then I try to get it again, I never quite like it as much as I did the first time. And I find if I do it that way, then it's easier to put the layout together. So I took my Hero Art dauber again and I just slammed it on the white cardstock, and it makes these little splatters. And not all daubers do it. I know the white one doesn't do it for sure, but the pink one works really well. And what I do is I start it off on, a piece of cardstock or whatever, because it needs to be nice and, juicy and wet. And then when you slam it down, then it makes these splatters. And I really like the look of that. And now I'm ready to glue everything down, and I'm going to use my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive and glue a strip at the top and the bottom of the layout. And I'm going to start building my layers using all the embellishments that I pulled from the kit. Now the title for this page is going to be Katie Poo, and that's just a nickname I have for her, and I still call her that. And I used the thickers that came in the kit. I added some Hero Arts white ink, the dauber, and I put it to the side, and somehow I put my ATG gun in it, and when I lifted it up, of course, Murphy's Law, smack, face down on my photo. So there was ink all over. I managed to take all the ink off, but there was a little bit of panic moment because these photos, I'm sure I have the negative somewhere, but that's the term here, somewhere. Where is it, And so I don't want to wreck these photos. I want to make sure they get on the layout and they stay there nice and safe. And there was a piece of pattern paper that the back side, the one with all the circles that I really love, I used it as an inspiration a few layouts ago to do circles on my layout with watercolors. Now at this point I had cut a flower kind of just quickly from that pattern paper, and then I thought I would cut in a little bit more, and I really didn't like it at all. I really liked it more when it was rough cut. So what I did, I just flipped it over and just pieced it back together and put some Scotch tape. And now that it's on the layout, you can't even tell. I just put it back snugly where it was, and in the layout, in the page protector, you won't be able to tell. I just liked the white space around it a whole lot. So I just wanted to leave it. Again, I cut out some of those cameras. I used one of the branding strips from one of the pattern papers, and it was little flowers, and it was in all the colors that was on this layout. So I just used it as sort of like washi tape on this layout, and I'm going to keep adding the die cuts to each of the clusters. So the cluster that I'm working on now, I put a doily that I colored. I cut out a flower, a small one, and then the bigger ones, and then a piece of that branding strip, a little camera, which I'm putting a bow on it right now, a little die cut that says smile, and then a little puffy heart, and then I'm going to put some twine in that cluster. Now the word Katie Poo, I inked it with pale tomato, and then when it was dry I added some glossy accent to the whole thing, and it's nice and shiny now. Now the only thing is once you treat letters like that, thickers, half the time they're not really that sticky anyway, so once you do treat them, you do have to use extra adhesive, to glue them down. So I'm going to use my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, and I'm going to this time I'm going to glue the title right at the bottom of the page, and I just put a little bracket there, And I just thought of this right now. You know, the trend is to put hashtag and then whatever. If I would have thought of it, I would have put hashtag Katie Poo. But anyway, I just thought of it right now, so it's going to stay the way it is. Now, the middle cluster, I have the journaling block where I'm going to do my journaling. I put one of that transparency flower that I cut out, a die cut that says Dreamer, a die cut of a camera, a puffy sticker, the branding strip, some twine, and a little craft bow right at the top of the journaling block. And in the top embellishment cluster, I have the branding strip, a flower, a piece of that acetate, a piece or a chipboard speech bubble, and then a craft bow, and then again some twine in pink and white. And now I'm just inking with pale tomato ink from Hero Arts. And that's it. The page is done. So if you want to see more close-ups, you can join me on Facebook, which the link is in the description. You can join me on Pinterest, on Twitter, a cherry on top, 2 peas in a bucket, Scraptastic blog and Facebook, and the Facebook group is for members only, and also on Instagram. And all that, I'm Nicole Jones 911. So now off to go do some packing for my crop weekend, which I go to tomorrow, June 13th. So yay, my goal is to do 20 layouts. So I'll let you know how much I get done. So thanks for watching. Bye.